Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Saddleback Eye Center's LASIK seminar. My name is Vanessa, and I'm the Director of Community Relations. And this morning, we will be going over the LASIK procedure and answering a few frequently asked questions. Next, I would like to introduce Dr. Manger. Dr. Manger founded Saddleback Eye Center, and he is our LASIK surgeon. He graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy with a degree in math and nuclear science, and he served as an officer on nuclear submarines in the U.S. Navy, and then went on to medical school at USC. After USC, Dr. Manger did his internship and residency at the USC Eye Institute, and he is a board-certified ophthalmologist. Dr. Manger is an expert in LASIK surgery. Industry reports tell us that there are 64 LASIK surgeons in Orange County, and Dr. Manger does 35% of all LASIK surgeries in Orange County here at Saddleback Eye Center. Dr. Manger has superior outcomes with 99.7% of his patients seeing 20/20 or better, and the other 0.3% are seeing 20/30 and are happy with their vision, and no one has ever lost their vision by having LASIK by Dr. Manger. Dr. Manger is considered to be the most experienced LASIK surgeon on the West Coast, having personally performed over 81,000 LASIK procedures in the past 21 years. He is the only LASIK expert in California, having one office location and one specialty, LASIK only. Dr. Manger routinely does between 200 and 300 LASIK procedures each and every month, and he is a leading authority in the world of LASIK. Now, before we start asking our panel questions about LASIK, I would like to bring up some of our guest speakers. Jack had LASIK on April 25th, 2017. His vision before LASIK was 2500, and his vision now is 20/20.
When I came to the seminar, I watched Dr. Manger as all of the former patients spoke, and you can see the compassion, you can see the pride, and you can see he really cares about his patients. Dr. Manger was the doctor that I really wanted to do it for me. I woke up the next morning, I could see 20/20. I drove to work and worked the whole day. There was no issues. I could go back to all my normal activities the very next day. Dr. Manger is an excellent choice if you are considering it.
Thank you so much. Tina had LASIK on April 28th, and her vision before LASIK was 2500, and her vision now after LASIK is 2015.
I am a dialysis nurse, so my vision's super important. Like, I need to see what I'm doing. So for me, came in here going, oh, I'm just going to listen. I don't even know what's going to happen. It's fine, whatever. I honestly never thought that I'd be a candidate. I've always been told that because I have astigmatism, I can't have it. Because my prescription's higher, I won't be able to have it. And then I came in. My boyfriend had his actually with Dr. Manger 16 years ago, and his vision is 20/20 still to this day. And Dr. Manger came in, and he's like, okay, you're ready to go. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm actually doing this. But what an amazing experience. Everybody here is so professional and just so nice. Like, even me coming now, people still remembered me. So I'm like, oh, that made me feel special. I still, try to find where my contacts or glasses are because my vision is so good. I don't even know how this happened. It's just amazing. I want to cry sometimes because I'm like, I can't believe I can see. And I drove the next day. I was a little scared because I didn't have to put my glasses on, but it was actually perfect. I'm just so happy with it. So thank you so much, every single person. So thank you. Yep, thank you.
This morning, I'll be asking the panel a series of questions about LASIK, and we'll also go over the 3 biggest mistakes that people make in choosing a LASIK surgeon. My first question is for Dr. Sherrick. Can you please explain to everyone how LASIK is done?
Sure. Let's start by looking at the eye model and seeing how the eye works. The eye works like a camera. There are 2 lenses. The outside lens is the cornea, which focuses the distance vision. The internal crystalline lens acts like an autofocus on the camera to focus the near. The 2 lenses work together to focus an image clearly to the retina, which is like the film in a camera. When an eye is normally shaped, the cornea is perfectly round and vision is clear. But problems with vision or blurry vision are usually because the cornea is misshaped. In a nearsighted eye, the cornea is a little bit steep, so images focus close up, but distance is blurry. In a far-sighted eye, the cornea is flat, so distance focus is better than near. In an eye with astigmatism, the cornea is actually shaped more like a football than a basketball, so all distances are distorted or smeared. So Dr. Menger can correct all of these with LASIK. First, he starts with a wavefront technology laser, which creates a 3D mapping to accurately measure the vision. Then he will use the intralaser laser to create the corneal flap. He gently lifts that corneal flap and uses an excimer or treatment laser to reshape the tissue underneath. He puts the flap back in place and healing starts immediately.
What are the advantages of technology, starting with the custom view or wavefront technology?
Okay, so when I first started doing LASIK in 1996, we had several different things to measure the eye, but really the main thing that we were relying on was just the phoropter there on your left, and the phoropter is the device that your eye doctor uses to compute your prescription for glasses or contact lenses. So that was one of the biggest starting points when we first started doing LASIK, and really for the first 6 years. We'd make various corrections to the numbers that we got out of this to adapt it for the laser and to adapt it for your situation and your eyes, but that was the starting point. Then in 2002, we had the introduction of wavefront technology, or another word for that is custom view. Wavefront technology. WaveScan is another for the same thing. And what this is this is the first laser that Dr. Shera just mentioned. And this is a laser that measures your eye. And you sit in a room, you sit in a dark room, you look in the distance at a red light, and over a 5-minute period, that laser measures your eye, and it measures all amazing details of your eye that we've never been able to measure before, to give us extreme accuracy. And if we printed out all that information that the custom view laser gives us, it would take up 45 pages of information. So there's just a lot of information that allows us to do this surgery very accurately. So what does this do for you, the patient? Well, it used to be that we could get, before this was introduced, in other words, 1996 through 2002, we could get 29% of our patients to see better than 20/20 after LASIK. Since we've had the introduction of the custom view or wavefront technology in 2002, now we're able to get 72% of our patients to see better than 20/20.
Now, Dr. Menger, let's talk about making the flap. You used to use the metal blade from 1996 to 2002, but then you switched to using the laser in 2002. So why did you make that change?
Right. So before that time, we used the metal blade, and for a 6-year period, it's not a very appealing thought for the patients. It did get the procedure done. Here's a picture of it. But for 6 years, that's what we did. We had a long checklist, like a flight checklist, to put this device together properly each and every time. But I got to tell you, in 2002, they introduced the intralaser laser, which I consider the best development in the field of LASIK surgery, just as far as safety and accuracy. What's amazing, though, amazing statistic that this year in the United States, there'll be something like 20 or 25% of all the LASIK surgeries done are done with the metal blade. And the reason for that is, number one, a lot of the general ophthalmologists who are very good surgeons, they may be doing dozens of different types of procedures. And LASIK is only one of many procedures they do. They may only do 5 or 10 patients a month with LASIK. It really doesn't warrant buying a laser for that. And they can use the metal blade in their office without having to go anywhere. And the other people that really, really use the metal blade are the budget centers that want to do your surgery for $2,000 or $3,000 for 2 eyes.
And the other advancement in technology that patients really like are the eye trackers. Because one of the comments we hear quite often from our patients are, I have all the confidence in Dr. Manger to perform my LASIK procedure, but what happens if I do something during the procedure? If I move or look away, am I going to mess it up somehow? But you don't have to worry about that because Dr. Manger has eye trackers on every one of his lasers that are designed to track the motion of your eye movement 1,000 times per second. So you don't have to worry about doing anything to mess that up, and Dr. Manger certainly will not either. But with all the technology, that really brings us to the first mistake that people make in choosing a LASIK surgeon, and that is thinking that the technology is more important than the surgeon. Because you need to keep in mind, LASIK is still 90% surgeon, 10% technology. And we still have some patients who come in here and they tell us, oh, it doesn't really matter where I go for this, it's all about the technology. But what we really want them to understand is that there are 24 different decisions that Dr. Manger has to make on each individual LASIK eye that he operates on. That custom view or wavefront guided technology gives Dr. Manger 45 pages of data about your eye's measurements and your eye's prescription, and Dr. Manger is the one who will analyze that data and create your surgical plan and your surgical treatment. The laser does not do that. The laser is just a tool that Dr. Manger is using to perform your vision correction. Dr. Scher, can you tell me, how do I know if I'm a good candidate for LASIK?
Yes. So most patients now with our advanced technology will be good candidates for LASIK. Dr. Manger can correct nearsightedness, farsightedness, astigmatism, and even help those who wear readers. The three main requirements are you must be at least 18 years of age with no upper age limit. Your prescription must be pretty stable for at least 1 year with only slight changes. And the third thing is your eyes must be free of any of disease processes such as advanced cataracts or keratoconus. But the best way to make sure you're a good candidate for LASIK is to come in for our 2 to 2.5 hour comprehensive exam. This exam, as you heard the patient say, is very comprehensive, and it consists of 14 different diagnostic tests to help Dr. Manger determine if you are a good candidate for LASIK. 80% of the patients will be good candidates for LASIK, but Dr. Manger has to routinely turn away at least 20%.
Now, Dr. Manger, patients who are farsighted or have astigmatism or just wear reading glasses keep being told that they're not good candidates for LASIK. But it always amazes us because those are common visual problems that you correct every day. So why are so many people being told they're not candidates?
I got to tell you that I've been correcting all three of those things for the past 21 years, and I corrected my own family members. My son was 18 years old. He's very farsighted. My wife had just the reading glass problems, and my daughter had astigmatism problems. So I've been correcting these for a long time with good success. And the reason that people are being steered away from LASIK surgery is usually by the eye doctor, whether it's an optometrist or an ophthalmologist, and they don't really do LASIK surgery. And you got to know that if a person goes and has a very successful LASIK surgery, that eye doctor is going to, the mainstay of their practice is eye exams, contact lenses, and glasses, and that patient is not going to be seeing them very much in the future. So that's why they gently get steered in different directions when that question is asked about being a good candidate for LASIK.
The second mistake that people make in choosing a LASIK surgeon is thinking that all LASIK surgeons are the same, because they're not. There are actually 3 different categories of LASIK surgeons. The first category is that of the general ophthalmologist or the occasional LASIK surgeon. And the general ophthalmologist, who you've trusted for years, typically does a good job at prescribing eyeglasses and contact lenses and doing cataract surgery. The number 1 surgery they do is cataract surgery because that's what they learned in their residency. LASIK is not a procedure they specialize in because it's just not their main focus. Now, the second category is that of the retail LASIK centers or the budget centers. And these are the offices that usually exist by advertising or offering cheap prices. And they are very comfortable at cutting corners on quality and patient care and technology in order to offer those reduced prices. They often do minimal testing, and many times you don't meet the surgeon during your initial LASIK exam, which is far below the standard of care in any field of medicine. And at the budget centers, if they assume that all you care about is price, they are willing to drop the price in order to get you to have the LASIK procedure done there, but what they're not telling you is all the technology and the aftercare and the quality that they're taking away in order to offer a cheap price. Now, the third category of LASIK surgeons is very rare in the United States, and that is the category of the LASIK expert. I know it's hard to believe, but just in Southern California, there are 500 LASIK surgeons. And out of those 500 LASIK surgeons, Dr. Manger is the only one who does LASIK 5 days a week, 49 weeks a year, and is the only one of those LASIK surgeons whose practice is 100% committed to LASIK. We track Dr. Manger's patients' visual results, and consistently 99.7% of Dr. Manger's patients see 20/20 or better, and the other 0.3% are all seeing 20/30 and are happy with their vision, and no one has ever lost their vision by having LASIK by Dr. Manger. Dr. Manger has personally performed every one of the 81,000 LASIK procedures here. In the past 21 years, there's never been another LASIK surgeon, another resident or associate. Dr. Manger personally performs every single LASIK procedure. So there's a reason why so many patients come here to have Dr. Manger perform their LASIK procedures, because you get something here that you cannot get anywhere else, and that is a dedicated, highly specialized LASIK surgeon who's an expert in his field. Now, Dr. Scher, can you please explain what to expect the day of the procedure?
Sure. So when you come in the day of the procedure, your eyes are numbed with a series of drops. There's no IVs or needles. Dr. Manger makes the procedure very easy for you by giving you your own personal technician or coach to be with you the whole time. The women are given a stuffed animal to hold on to. The men are given a stuffed football. And after the procedure, you go home and you rest that evening. You can do, watch a little TV, but nothing too strenuous. In the morning, you come in for a brief post-op appointment and you're back to normal activities. Like one of the patients said, he went to work. You can drive, you can work on a computer all day. So the only restrictions we ask you, no eye makeup for 3 days, no heavy weight lifting over 100 pounds for say 3 days, no swimming for 1 week. The second week we ask that you wear waterproof goggles, and we do ask that you do keep your eyes covered 24 hours a day for the first 5 days to protect your eyes and just to remind you not to rub or squeeze your eyes.
Now, Dr. Manger, one of the questions that our patients have is, do I need to have LASIK redone in 5 to 10 years?
So that's a frequent question. If you go to somebody who's dedicated and specialized and experienced in LASIK surgery, it is very, very rare that you would need to have it redone.
Dr. Scher, if I'm over 40, can Dr. Manger correct my vision so I don't need to wear reading glasses?
Yes. So let's look at this eye model. Now remember, we're talking about this internal lens, which is soft and flexible and can change shape to focus from distance to near. This lens and the system works very well for 40 to 45 years, and then the lens starts to stiffen up in the eye. The lens gets harder and harder until you feel like your arms aren't long enough when you're trying to read and you get reading glasses or bifocals. So up to now, there's no exercise, eye drop, or surgery that will help change this internal lens. So what Dr. Manger can do is use the LASIK technology to give you blended monovision. Now, the concept of monovision, meaning one eye is corrected for distance, the other is corrected for near, has been around for decades. You might have tried it with contact lenses, you may know people who have it, but blended monovision, which Dr. Manger has been specializing in for the past 21 years, is different because the distance between the two eyes is small. So the brain can blend the images better. But we don't want you to base your decision to have blended monovision on something your friend or neighbor has told you. And that is why when you come to Saddleback Eye Center, the doctors spend a lot of time explaining and actually showing you with special lenses exactly what the blended monovision looks like, so you can see for yourself if it is the right decision for you.
So what advice would you give to someone who's concerned about the cost of LASIK?
The U.S. government did a special case study of the LASIK industry. They interviewed thousands and thousands of people that have been to a budget center and had their LASIK procedure done. And the most amazing statistic that came out of this is 1 out of every 6 patients that had had LASIK surgery done at a budget center were unhappy with the visual result and would not have had the LASIK surgery if they had known that. We have 4 or 5 patients that come into my office every month for a LASIK exam, and they've had LASIK surgery done at a budget center, and they want to know if I can correct it. Now, most of them I can correct, some I can't.
So it really paints a picture for you. If you're going to do this, you really need to do it with the most experienced LASIK surgeon in order to get the best visual result. The best way to find out if you are a good candidate for LASIK is to come in for your 2 to 2.5 hour LASIK exam, where your eyes will be examined by Dr. Manger. After the procedure, if you have a ride home, that's great. If you don't have a ride home and you live in the local area, we're happy to arrange a complimentary car service to take you home. Or if you live out of the local area, we do have a complimentary hotel stay at a nice local hotel that we arrange for our patients after their procedure, as well as we provide transportation to and from the hotel. And then we see you back here the next morning for a quick post-op checkup, and then you're back to all your normal activities the next day.